Actually, let me change. Oh wow, a lot of shit changed in OBS. Oh fuck me.
Yeah, I don't see it streaming here on Zach
Yeah,
ZYZ.
yeah. Give me 1 second.
There's a 30-second delay.
It's true, but also like
30 seconds? I don't think
Yep.
it's.
it takes
I've
about 30
counted it.
seconds to like hook up with the server, and I think that one's not like an ultra high latency.
I
So
see it
yeah,
now.
it
There
shows
you
us
go.
online
It started.
on there. Okay, cool. Yeah, it just takes a hot second to get through,
Oh, gotta meet you.
and then give me one.
Yes,
second.
hello.
And okay, well, welcome everybody to IRC D&D session number 7. Our intrepid adventurers have survived legionnaires and mutated seagulls, and recently just managed to feed a whole passel of refugees. So I'm going to turn it over to Zartet, our archivist, who is going to recount our last couple of sessions of D&D. If you want to hear what happened in sessions 1 through 5, just go back to like show number 5 and so forth, and he'll recount the entire thing at the beginning of the show. So, by all
Yeah.
means, let it rip.
1 through 4. We're going to recap from starting at 5 here. All right, guys. So, session 5. At the end of session 4, we had kind of came into my farm, Goodberry Farms, and fought off this crazy pig. Session 5 picked up after slaying the hog, and we see the Legion once again approaching us and Goodberry Farms. We make a run for it, heading southeast along the coast towards Vora Brink, but we are bedraggled and unable to outpace the Legion. As we are descended upon by 2 Legion outriders, Kuntz attempts to mystify them by casting Friends. This is momentarily successful, and the confused outriders seem confused on how to proceed as we hurried away. We navigate our way through a rocky coastline festooned with large spiny sea urchins. The Legion snaps out of their confusion and again takes up pursuit. We stand our ground. Angie takes a swing with Bisbee's blade at one but misses. Zartet spears the other through a gap in his armor and flings him to the rocks. With a judo move, Logic chucks the one Angie missed onto the ground, and he is gouged by a sea urchin. With the Legion out, with the Legion outriders severely wounded, we again escape and continue further down the coast with more haste. Down this part of the coast are numerous caves and slot canyons carved out of the rock, giving the appearance of honeycomb. These are the Honeycomb Caves, mostly inhabited by hermits, as far as we know. We are very weakened and in need of serious rest. Angie uses her expert tracking and woodcrafting skills to create a false trail to take the Legion off of our course. We hole up in one of the caves and cover the entrance rather convincingly with leaves, branches, grass, and other things. As the Legion once again descends on our area, we're able to count their numbers exactly as 12. They pass us by with no notice. We're able to rest most of the night and recover some stamina and health. While on watch, Kuntz notices a large bear lumbering through the cave and then disappearing. Later in the night, while Angie is on watch, there are men with torches coming back from the way which the Legion left. She wakes the rest of us because she noticed them to be Legion. We watch from our nook as the Legion appears to be going from cave to cave, trying to sniff out anyone in hiding. There's a man in a dark purple robe with them that seems to be guiding them. He has lips like those of a lizard, and where his eyes would be are instead scarred over sockets where those eyes once were. There's a deep scar on his forehead, and what is visible of his extremities showed him to be covered in tattoos. His name is missing, or his hand is missing a ring finger. This man is some kind of blind Legion wizard. They would be on our position. They ended up on our position, so Angie readied her bow to fire at the wizard from behind our camouflage. The Legion wizard anticipates this shot and it is deflected, but now our position is compromised. We take another run for it. Logic and Angie both take damage falling from the rocks, and Logic loses his footing while Angie is struck by magical bolts from the wizard. Logic regains his footing and is able to land a dagger throw at the wizard. In the confusion of battle, we see more Legion approaching along the trail through the caves. As they approach, though, a large bear comes barreling down the side of the rock face and begins eviscerating the Legion soldiers. Zartet recognizes the bear as not a bear at all, but a man in bear form, a fellow druid. Also descending the rock face is a large herd of horned sheep with them, but they are unable to. Herd of horned sheep, and they too begin to fight with the Legion. Zartet calls out to the sheep, attempting to magically speak with them, but they're unable to make out his commands over battle. This is when Kuntz weaves together a magic spell of spider's webs and entraps nearly all of the Legion soldiers and the wizard. One of the stragglers attacks Zartet with the poleaxe, but Zartet counters with his spear, which he imbued with the power of a shillelagh. Meanwhile, still trapped by the spider webs, the wizard's able to free himself enough to cast a fireball, which immediately combusts all the spider webs, causing those still trapped to be burned severely. Kuntz fires off magic missiles at the wizard. Wizard is pretty wounded, but we see him grab one of the legionnaires and begin to siphon the rest of his life force from him and heal himself in the process. The wizard and the rest of the living legionnaires continue to charge at us. One of the horned sheep comes from behind the wizard, attempting to take him out, but the wizard anticipates this and downs the ram. Again, the wizard drains the rest of the life from this animal, but there's not much left to give, and the wizard is looking pretty hurt. Zartet notices that the bear that was fighting with the legions now looked very hurt as well, and on a closer look, he recognizes the bear to be a druid he knows by the name of Morion. Angie finishes off the rest of the legion still standing, but not before taking a near fatal blow from one of their bastard blades. The wizard, realizing the tide is well and turned, and having had all of his clothes burned off by the fireball, runs for a nearby cliff. Kuntz tries to chase him down with his claw hammer, but before that could happen, the wizard hurls himself off a cliff and into the water below. We're unsure if he's dead or not, and unable to see which way the water below had taken him. We gather around Morion, who is gravely injured. Last session 6, we're surrounding Morion. Zartet uses Cure Light Wounds on Morion while he's still in bear form, but is not able to heal him enough. Morion transforms back into his human shape, but still has a terrible wound. He explains to us that there is no way to get across the Deramaeus and tries to transform into a bird to fly away, but he's not able to. He offers to answer any question, and Zartet asks him the secret to wild shape. Morion explains only the Cabal of the East can teach wild shape. Morion dies in Zartet's arms. The party carries his body to the ocean for a sailor's burial. When Morion's body is thrown into the water, he immediately breaks apart into hundreds of anemone that swim away. Meanwhile, back in the caves, Logic loots the bodies of the soldiers. He finds 8 jerky rations and a ring, which he pockets and doesn't tell anyone about. He looks for the Legion Skull Man, but there is no bag of skulls to be found and thus no Skull Man. We decide to each take a Legion helmet as a trophy so as to thwart off any potential attackers that might think us soft. We decide to camp some more in the caves after collecting the dead sheep and storing them in one of the caves. We build a fire and begin roasting one of the sheep and resting to restore some health. While eating, a young, hungry-looking refugee girl approaches. As she approaches, Logic chucks some meat at her to have, and it lands in the dirt near her feet. At first, she is indignant that she would be treated so coldly, but after some chastisement of Logic from the rest of us, she understands that he's just uncouth and accepts a spot at the fire. Her name is Amen, and she's only 14 or 15 years old. She tells us of the hardships of her people, since things have gone a bit askew on this part of the island, and guides us to the rest of the refugees camping further in the caves. We help them in to build a large bonfire to cook some of the sheep that remain. Logic advises the refugees to first drink the blood of these animals to fortify themselves before consuming large amounts of meat, for they have been malnourished for quite a while, and could become ill if their bellies fill too fast. While feasting, a bowman named Barrick approaches. He's a follower of the Barn Star, along with about 35 to 45 other soldiers, and they venerate fertility and the natural order. We escort these men to the meat store we had created earlier and show them the rest of the sheep and offer it to the refugee villagers. It's explained to them that we had to hide this meat to keep it from the copper lizards that we saw crawling around the caves. Then, at the mouth of the cave, we see a pair of demon gulls fighting with each other over the scraps of one of the Legion corpses. Deftly, Angie and Kuntz both lay waste to these foul creatures with arrows and magic missiles, killing each one with one single shot. Beric thanks us for all of our aid, pulls Zartet aside, and slips him a small pouch containing 7 gold. And that is where we left off, deciding if we wanted to continue towards Vorbrink or backtrack to West Moria.
Well, if you want to backtrack towards West Moria, you'll probably have to go back through the spot with all the refugees, and you've heard that there are some rowdier types further to the east. Essentially, that encampment was a bunch of people who banded together and to basically for mutual security against those types. If you want to head towards the south, towards Vorbrink, where you've heard things have gone drastically wrong, you think that by about mid-afternoon, you can make it to the Blackrock Stockade, which, Angie, you know of as a stronghold that's set up against a cliff of basalt, where essentially it served as a base of operations for lawmen, King Geordie's men, and so forth, making excursions against raiders and like hunting down criminals and the like.
What was the name of the place again?
It's called the Blackrock Stockade. It's a fortress built around a strange cliff of basalt that juts up kind of like a canine tooth in the
And
sort
that's-
of the middle of the area.
And that's on the way south to Vorbrink?
It's on the way to Vorbrink. Like between you and Vorbrink, there is a narrow section between the hills where essentially all traffic has to pass through here. So there's a watchtower, there's a stockade, so it's potentially a place where you could get some news and supplies and probably find a place to rest for the night, if indeed it is still intact.
I say I vote for heading that way, I guess, on our way to... what's it called? Vorbrink?
Vorbrink, and beyond that
sorry.
is the Darameus.
Yeah. So Angie knows that this place is up ahead, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like everybody here is relatively familiar with the geography and the layout of all of this area. This is the spot where you all live. So this would be like going to the big city from your hometown, essentially, for the lot of you. Like it's a path that you've traveled before.
Yeah.
I can do that.
And what was the name of it again? I'm just adding it to the map.
Yep. So that's
Blackrock
the Blackrock Stockade, about halfway to Vorbrink, along the mountains. Okay. Well, so resolved, the party sets forth and just gathers up your things, dusts yourselves off, takes a shout out to Spidey in the chat right there. So you set off along the way, and as you are going on the southern path away from the Honeycomb Caverns, you notice that on either side of the pass, up on the tall cliffs, many rams and sheep and so forth. Some of them you notice are wounded, sort of gather along the pass, and as the party is marching past, a few of them lower their heads in recognition of the great battle that you fought with their friend, the fallen Morion the Druid. Additionally, you've as you're making up camp and so forth, you can see some of
I make a druidly gesture at them.
they understand and respect your druidly gesture of solidarity and sorrow for their fallen friend. Additionally, you are seeing, Angie, you notice this as everybody is walking away, a pair of sort of juvenile copper lizards are snuffling around at the cave entrance where you would stash all of the sheep, snuffling around and looking for like remnants of blood and carcass and so forth to gobble up there. So these are two juvenile lizards snuffling in that area. I would say that each of them is about 4 or 5 feet long. But they're chattering and like hissing at each other, trying to get at the meat and so forth. All right. Well, the party is headed south along the way. So, Angie, you at this point in your rangering career have become a skilled tracker. Do you want to take a look at who might have gone on this path before you?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. So you're really starting to get the hang of tracking and seeing what's going on. Now you're at the point where you can easily distinguish between sort of the light boots of civilians and the heavier footprints left behind by people who are perhaps carrying armor and so forth. And what you can see is that at some point, the whole pack of Legion must have walked through here. You can see older tracks from adult copper lizards that are rolling along here. You see some signs of deer, but they're not like a normal gait. These are deer that something is wrong with them. They're just kind of staggering, and they must have been like very injured because they're just by the spacing of their hoof prints and so forth. So other than the Legionnaires and so forth, you can't see much along the way. But it seems like the Legionnaires at some point went to the south here, and you also see like where they tracked back this way. So it seems like the Legionnaires had taken this southern fork. So just keeping that in mind, perhaps this is not all of them that you come across there. Okay, so the four of you begin traveling southward, and as the day bears on, you see more examples of sort of the strangeness that has overtaken the island. From time to time, you'll see sort of stretches where all the plants and animal life have been burned away, where the red rain has fallen and everything has been seared away. And you notice from time to time, you'll see things like squirrels running around where they have bloated, and there are things growing off of them like chancers and warts and carbuncles and so forth. In other places, you can see birds, and Zartet, this is something that rankles you a lot. You'll see birds that have no business fighting with each other. Things like little sparrows fighting with starlings, and crows fighting with each other. Just the whole bird life of the island seems to have been upset. So it is about mid-afternoon as the three of you are traveling on, and you're about 2 hours north of you're about 2 hours north of the Blackrock Citadel. As you're moving along, this is mostly low, scrubby land. You've moved out of the area of the hills and so forth, away from the copper lizards and wildlife there. And about 2 hours out, you can see up ahead in the road buzzards flying around. And it's probably, whatever they're after, is probably about a mile in the distance up on the road.
Are they following something on the road, or are they in the road devouring something in the road?
They are flying in circles over something ahead in the road and swooping down.
They're not threatened, though, so they're swooping down.
No.
It's probably something dead.
There is probably
Yeah,
something dead
dead thing.
ahead in the road.
Thing
So,
is,
let me-
a dead what? Is it a dead lizard, a dead deer, dead legionnaire?
Let me give you an idea of what the land is like here. So you guys are headed on a sort of southeasterly path. To the north, the land is relatively hilly. And then to the south, it's mostly plains and crabgrass and sea grasses and so forth. Most of the grass grows fairly high, I'd say to about waist height at this point in the season.
We're still on the coast.
Yeah, you're still, you're not on the coast here. You're a little bit more inland here. Just the mountains kind of separate a little bit away from the coast here. So you took a You went a little bit west and then took a southern fork through the canyons and so forth, and emerged out into hills, and the hills are bleeding out into grassland. So you have sort of hills and scrubby trees and so forth to your left, and then you have grasses to your right. The road is not a paved road. It's just sort of like a beaten road, and you'd say about maybe half a mile ahead of you is whatever all the birds are swooping down at. And now that you've stopped to like take a look, you can see larger shadows of the strange gulls beginning to swoop, and then all the other birds fly out of their path once they start to arrive. Because not you've noticed that when the mutated seagulls are flying around, they will just take chunks out of anything that comes near them. They'll bite anything that comes near.
Does it appear as though this is just, it could be any random spot along this road, or does it appear as though there might be a choke point of some form around all this activity?
Well, you're
Or
about
some
half a
sort of
mile
terrain
out.
feature?
Let's see. So this is a stretch from here. So Zartet, you are the wisest and the best known in the land here. So I will give you a wisdom roll to see if you can recall exactly what happens at this stretch of road. What is your wisdom?
Wisdom is 14.
Okay. So you are indeed wise enough to know that along that place is a small stream. You can't see it from here, but a stream runs under there, and there's a bridge made of logs that have been put over this gulch. From time to time, the gulch will flood and wash out. And Angie, you know this also because from time to time they will have to go and repair this bridge. In heavy rains, sometimes the gulch will wash out and knock away everything. So from time to time, people will hide under this bridge and pop up and ambush people who are coming by. So from time to time, there are bandits at this bridge. So that is what is ahead of you there. Now, you could investigate, or you could opt to go far to the south and probably go about an hour out of your way if you want to avoid it entirely.
What time of day is it right now?
Right now, it's about 2 in the afternoon.
And approximately how far out are we from Blackrock?
You're about 2 hours north of Blackrock Stockade right now.
And what time is sunset this time?
The sun will probably set around 6 p.m.
I say we just keep heading towards it and fight anything that gets in our way.
I'm going to cast Goodberry.
Okay.
Can you hook me up with one?
Yeah. Can you roll
What do you get now? 2d4?
2d4? Yeah.
Okay. I'm seeing 3 at 2d4.
Okay.
And just so nobody thinks I'm lying here, get where they can see I'm here.
Rigged.
This is not a rigged thing. Well, however, they're sliding all over the fucking place, but you can see there's a 2 and a 1 there. Rigged pig. I love the rigged pig. Shout out to Wheaton Kid.
Me too.
All right. Well, I also have Cure Light Wounds, so
Okay.
I'm gonna give 2 out and keep 1 for myself.
All right. Who is getting these good berries?
Druids believe in equanimity.
Okay,
I
so
still
Angie,
have
how many
one.
hit points do you have at the moment?
Yeah. Who has the lowest hit
10.
point?
Out of 31.
10 out of 31. So yeah, your tank is hoitin here. And then Logic, what are you at?
I have 11 hit points.
Out of a total of
18, yeah.
18?
So
Okay.
it's
And then Kuntz, what are you sitting at right now?
I got 15 out of 24.
15 out of 24. And then Zartet is at like 24 out of 25. He's doing quite well there. Okay, so you can distribute the good berries however you see fit. Remember, Zartet is a specialist at good berries, and his heal 2 hit points per good berry.
Sweet.
However, I will warn you that not in the player's handbook or whatever, man cannot live on good berries alone. You cannot sustain yourself only on good berries. Eventually, you have to eat. Fortunately, you all feasted on fallen rams. So you're good to go for a little bit. Just caution against trying to live off of only good berries. You'll turn into a plant or something.
Yeah,
think we
I-
each got
I don't
two
think
food rations. We should each have 2
Zartet
food rations.
preaches, moderation.
Okay, so what are you going to do about the because now the big gulls are starting to swoop lower, and you know that
Well,
this usually
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
How many
oh.
berries did you get, and then how many did you give us?
he got 3. He gave out 2. Who are you giving them?
Yeah. Angie and Logic, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely in the roughest straits right now.
I
I'm
think,
gonna eat one of
Kuntz
my
has
ones.
weapons now, so
Yeah.
like he could defend himself.
He has the claw hammer and what else?
I'll eat one of mine now.
I ate 1 good berry
Okay,
that I
Yeah,
had
me
from
too.
before.
everybody who eats a berry,
I'm
heal
gonna
2 hit
save.
points.
Gonna save a good berry.
Sorry, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna save mine because it's a free action to fucking eat a good berry.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true. Yeah, you can always pop. You can pop those things like MDMA.
Percocet.
like gas station
Yeah.
power pill.
These good
Yeah,
berries are
Yellow
mellowing me
Jacket.
out. All right. So now, because of your inaction, gulls are swooping lower still, and one of the
They
monster
swooping
gulls.
at the bridge. Sorry,
They're
or is
swooping
it
at the,
something.
Yeah, they're
on a-
swooping at something at the bridge.
Okay.
All right, let's move
I
forward.
feel
Or
like
I'll
we
move
have the
forward.
time. I kind of feel like we should go around.
Okay. Well, the party
Alright.
the party must make a decision.
Angie, you want to scout ahead?
Can I go check it out real quick? It'll take a while, I think. It's half a mile, right?
Yeah. Well, you're about half a mile out of there. So just keep in mind, like walking half a mile is like about 10 minutes to stride up. So yeah, you can go ahead on your own, or the whole party can go. It's up to y'all. But I need to know what you're doing.
I say we just all go. I mean, they're birds.
Right.
What can they
Yeah.
do to us?
Eh.
Well, you said they were gulls.
They look like the gulls. And right
Okay,
now
so
you're
they
seeing
looked like kind of carrying birds beforehand, but now they look like gulls. as we get closer.
initially you could see you were alerted to vultures circling ahead. And then as you were figuring out what you want to do and dispensing good berries and so forth, the big gulls started to arrive, and these are the monster gulls that you faced twice before. And it really just seems that the island has
Which you
become
guys took
infested
out in
by
one
these.
hit.
Yeah, they did. They did
Yeah,
just
we
waste one last.
we schooled them pretty good at level 1 and 2. I'm sure at level 5 will be just fine.
All right, let's approach.
All right, let's do it. Fuck it.
All right, so the party moves towards.
I'm good
and-
with animals.
Yeah, you reach them just as 2 of the gulls have landed on the log bridge, and you can hear their squawking, crazy cries. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Cuts. Fuck you, cunts. So here's what you're noticing about these. One of them is different than the gulls that you've seen before. There seems to be like a big frill around its neck of like long, exactly. But around its neck is a big frill of these sort of like dangly dreadlock looking type things there. And
Bird shaman.
yeah, essentially. But you can see all 3 of them just leaning over the bridge and like stabbing down with their beaks, trying to get at something that's under the bridge. And then you can hear sort of like hissing sounds coming from under the bridge. So as you approach, are you rushing at the bridge? Are you approaching stealthily? Are you like hiding? How are you approaching the bridge?
Myself and Zartet are up front because we have the most health, I guess. And
Also, I mean, I'm not encumbered by this earth.
I can move silently pretty much like 100% this time. I
Mhm.
mean, at any time. I mean, it's not
hell
100%, but it's,
Yeah,
I'm pretty good now.
I see what I think.
Okay, so it sounds like Logic, you and Angie are creeping, maybe through the tall grasses along the side of the road there, while Kuntz and Zartet are just going at it right there, moving up on them. Okay, so as you approach, the gulls definitely take notice of humans approaching there, and the three of them stop pecking at whatever's under the bridge and turn to face you. Immediately, two of them take wing, but the one that has like the weird frill of some kind of tendrils around its neck starts to shake its head from side to side, and the tendrils kind of whip around it in a ring. And it starts advancing towards you, sort of loping forward 1 foot after the other, as feet do. All right, so it's advancing on you right there. You have actions that you can take because the gulls are kind of clumsy in the air, and the two that are taking off will probably dive bomb you, you know from previous experience, but it's going to take them a second to gain some altitude.
I'm going to wait until this thing ambles along the road towards Zartet and Kuntz, and I'm going to fucking shiv him in the neck when he walks by.
You are definitely in a spot where you can creep up on him and pounce. And then, Angie, you're in a good spot, too, where you could take a shot at this guy from the... you could take a shot from sort of the reeds and have a pretty good chance of hitting him because he can't see
Let's
you.
do it.
Okay.
I can. I'll just sit back and see what they do, and then get ready to cast magic missile.
Okay, so you holster a spell, and you're ready. Zartet, what are you doing? So you're taking a look at this this thing, and the sort of writhing, serpent-like motion of its neck, and yeah, this is not a friendly gull in any way, shape, or form. He seems to have his eye on you, and as he's starting to move forward, he's actually picking up considerable speed, just running forward on two legs right at you there. So it seems like you are his target. You have a moment to act if you would like to.
I'm going to cast prayer.
Okay. So you begin to pray, calling on the power of Lady Arcady, the world spirit, to grant you guys success in this endeavor. Okay, so you guys hear Zartet begins to pray. So Angie, you have a chance to get a shot off before logic closes in on the bird. You want to take a shot?
Yep.
Okay, you are firing an arrow at the monster gull, and let's see, it's a D6. So your arrow takes wing with a twang of your bow, and the bird, startled, turns its head towards you. Your arrow sort of hits it in the shoulder, but bounces off like a hard plate of something. You can see like a little path of blood like fly off, so you've wounded it a little bit, but it's definitely got something hard and almost like alligator-like happening under its skin. It's like these birds are regressing back to dinosaurs.
Interesting.
But now that it's closer, you can see that it has some sort of hard chitinous plates, and that may be why it is charging at you instead of taking wing like the others. It might be heavier than the other
How
birds.
many in total are there?
There are 3 in total, and 2 have taken wing. So, Logic, you have a chance to backstab before it can get any closer
I shall
to
do it.
Zartet.
Sort of.
So you go for... So that is a big 19 that you get on your attack roll, which is a critical hit against this guy.
Sweet.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
So
Is it 20 a critical fail?
Thank you,
then?
Lady Arcady.
No. 1 is a critical fail. 20 is a critical hit.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you are backstabbing it. What's the damage on the dagger? Once again, somebody help me out here. I think it's D4.
It is 1d4, but it's the good dagger.
Oh, it is indeed the good dagger. All right. Well, let's see what we get. We got a 4 on this guy. So essentially, that triples into a solid 12 points of damage. And which dagger is this? The one that you took off of the weird guy? Okay.
The thief, yeah.
Okay.
We do
So-
with the tattoo.
With this blow, you're able to strike it from the side, and with a tearing downward jab, sink all the way into the horny plates surrounding sort of its shoulder blade. You get under that plate and manage to carve, as if you're chopping a Sunday bird. You're able to shear its wing right off. So immediately the bird lets out a blood-curdling hiss and
Good
swings its
move.
head back at you. Like now, short one wing, and now it's in terrible danger. So it whips at you with the frill of tendrils. Let's see. And you're able to dodge almost all of them, but one of them lands you a glancing blow, and you feel a barb sink into your shoulder. You try to dive out of the way of it, and the barb rips out of your shoulder, tearing and doing increased damage. So that one barb does 3 points of
take that
damage to you. Yeah, you took 3 points of damage to do the wing there, and blood is flowing freely now from your shoulder. And if you're wearing a shirt, it's now a much holier shirt than previously.
But as a free action, I'm just gonna chug one of those gas station power pills, a good berry.
You're gonna power down a good berry, and that's probably a good idea
While I'm
because
rolling away.
already you can feel like the telltale burn of the poison that you felt before in dealing with these corrupted creatures. Okay, Kuntz, you have you see now logic gets out of the way there. You have an open shot for a magic missile if you would like to cast it.
Yeah, I'll cast magic missile, 1 missile per bird.
Okay. So you're going to try, you have 3 missiles, and you're going to try and strike the 2 birds in the air, and then the bird in front of you. All right, so bird in front of you. So you strike the bird, trying to nail it in the wound where it's got one wing cut off there, but unfortunately it's moving around too much. So the missile sears into its flesh, but is already so wounded it scarcely seems to notice. The other 2 missiles fire into the sky and streak after the birds, just as one of them is diving down. One is going for you, Logic, and the other one seems like hell-bent on Zartet. So the first attack comes after, let's see, this guy. So Logic, you are sort of pulled away, like stuffing a good berry in your mouth, trying to get out of the path of these flailing tendrils.
Trying to roll into the grass.
And unfortunately, you are so out of you're so focused on the bird in front of you that you don't even notice the other bird until it crashes down on top of you, slamming its talons into your back. And the bird actually sinks both talons into your back and starts beating its wings, trying to pick you up and carry you off into the air.
Shit.
So,
What a talented bird.
yeah, immediately you take 5 points of damage, 2 from the left talon and 3 from the right talon. And it's beating with all of its strength, so it does not get a chance to try and make a beak attack. All right, then so Kunz, you fired off your spell. Then Zartet, another bird, is dive bombing towards you. You are in a little bit better shape. Okay, that bird, really these things are abominations, right? They are no longer like the sleek and graceful creatures. So this one critically fails when attempting to dive bomb you the way that it did that. And you're able to make a free attack because it has crashed into the ground, stunning itself. And you have a moment where you can lay into it with whatever weapon you choose. It is defenseless.
So maybe I could set my spear in such a way, like it failed. So if it felt so bad, maybe this could work where I just set my spear like where it's landing and it just lands on my spear. And
You want to try to
Spears
skewer it as it's dropping down? All right, let's see how that works for you. Okay.
I think that's a Mel Gibson movie, isn't it?
Yeah, you are absolutely able to just plant your spear in the ground and step aside and let gravity do the work, the creature is impaled and dies horrifically. It really just made a terrible blunder there, fucking with you. So Angie, right now, you can see that this bird has both of its talons sunk into Logic's back, and it is trying to take off right here. You have an opportunity to take another shot and potentially
Yeah.
save him from
I
being
want to try to
dropped from a
distract
high
it.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you take aim, you can feel a sort of supernatural focus take over the power of Zartet's prayer. You've felt this before, but it's always like a pretty zen feeling there. So your arrow takes wing and strikes the bird right in the eye. So, and it's a through and through one eye and out the other. Just immediately, as soon as this shot goes through, Logic, you are dropped at once. It releases its claws and starts spasming and flying around. Apparently, it's a prayer that Zartet learned in the Feywild. That's pretty. But yeah, it kind of speaks for itself, the power of this prayer. So the shot is through and through, slain in a shot. So that bird is out of commission. Zartet was able to slay the other one, but now the one-winged bird is sort of madly flailing around and charging. It's taken eye at you, Kuntz, because you were the last person to hit it. So it rushes towards you, beak snapping at you, and you were able to dance backward away from it. You saw what happened to Logic and learned from it immediately. You stay well out of range of its sort of like flailing frill of tendrils, and are managed to get away from its beak there. So, Kuntz, you have a chance to take another action if you would like to.
All right, I withdraw my hammer, my wooden handle claw hammer, and I'm just gonna throw it as hard as I can at the bird, just sort of aiming for center of mass. I just want to get a hit in there.
Okay. You hurl your hammer at the bird, and indeed, the throw is good. However, the hammer strikes off of like a horny plate on its brow and just sort of bounces off and flies off into the grass, seemingly without effect. And the bird continues to charge forward at you, snapping its ferocious beak, which you can see as like not a beak that I want to get bit by right there. It's clattering and chapping and so forth. So Zartet, your spear is for the moment incapacitated. Angie, you are closest to the bird that's marauding towards Kuntz. You have a chance. You can attack with a sword, or you can try and take another shot at it.
I want to take my longsword out
Okay.
and try to get it.
Okay, so the bird is distracted. You rush at it from behind, still feeling some of the calming effects of Zartet's prayer, which unfortunately didn't really do anything for you, Kuntz. You didn't get into that flow state. Oh shit, that is a big 19 once again. This is the end for the bird. With Bisbee's blade, you behead this guy, chopping it off beneath the frill of tendrils so that they snap and thrash and slash the air, but not for long, because the bird's head is cut clean off in a spray of black and tainted blood. The end. So that's the end for these three gulls. I just really never learn not to trifle with you. So you can hear an angry, sort of wounded sound coming from beneath the bridge. And ahead, now you have a closer look at what's going on here. So up on the bridge, you can see the sort of clean, picked carcass of another copper lizard that's laying in the middle of the road. And in its jaws, you can see what's left of someone's arm, right? It looked like the lizard was slain, but it was unable to relinquish its bite on someone's arm. It looks like, just taking a close look at it there, it looks like somebody may have hacked their arm off to get away from this lizard. Their bite is venomous, so it's possible they knew that the venom would kill them and opted to hack off their arm just below the shoulder. Or maybe somebody else did it for you. You can see a number of boot prints around this area. Then there's more noise, kind of like an angry, like sort of wounded hissing coming from underneath of the bridge. It does not sound human.
I'm gonna pick up my hammer.
Okay, so you go into the grass and find your hammer. Angie, Logic, Zartet, what are you doing? Logic is fairly injured at this point. He has taken like some serious bird bites in the back. And
So I have one more good berry, which I'm going to eat
yeah.
at this time.
Okay. So immediately you feel a slightly restorative feeling. That like weird burning tingle that these creatures seem to leave is somewhat mitigated by devouring the good berry, but you are still bleeding terribly and have taken an awful wound from. God, Logic.
Yeah.
Logic is always
I'm gonna-
getting slain.
Yeah, Logic.
He's in the mix.
It's a price you pay.
Do the boot prints look like it's just like a regular person?
Say that again.
Do
Oh,
the boot prints?
so you're leery to approach too close to the boot prints because something is under that bridge hissing and making noise. And you don't want it to just like jump up from under the bridge and attack you. So you're not quite there. You can get closer, but you probably want to find out what's going on under the bridge first. And you may want more.
Can we say something?
You can say anything you want at any time.
Call out
It's your
to it?
game. Okay. So Logic, you are calling out to whatever's under the bridge.
Can I cast Cure Light Wounds on Logic first?
You absolutely can. So Cure Light Wounds is D6, right? No, it's D8, I believe.
1d8, yeah.
All right, let's see what we got right here.
Thanks, Dad.
So you're healed for 4 hit points, Logic. And as you do so, the bleeding closes. So Zartet, you've spent so much time healing wounds caused by these gulls and so forth that you're starting to get an idea of this contagion, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have an inherent sense that something from these corrupted creatures is permeating those that it attacks and so forth. And you're starting to realize that what has been keeping you and your party together is the power of these good berries, and that without it, likely by now, you would have succumbed to the plague as so many others have, right? Every single person here has been basically been kept alive in spite of the rampant corruption moving all around you by the power of these good berries. So you're just now
Thanks,
starting to
Zartet.
realize that they have sort of a healing power, restoring a natural order that has been grossly upset. So Logic, you are healed for a little bit there. Kunz, you're able to retrieve your hammer. And as you take a look at these birds, the one bird definitely reminds you more of like a little bit of like a crocodile or something like the way that it has like armored plates. It had much difficulty flying and chose to instead attack on foot. This is a significant divergence from the other gulls there, along with its frill of like spiny, almost prehensile tendrils. Okay.
This is a little bit weird, but is there a pattern happening here with the abomination of these seagulls? You know what I mean? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where like every time we encounter the seagulls in a different sort of situation, they're abominated, I guess, in a specific way. Does that make sense at all to anybody?
Oh, it makes perfect sense to me.
Well, I'll tell you that all of you can notice that they're getting weirder as you get closer to the Deramaeus, right? The degree of mutation that you're seeing, the size of these things, and you're seeing more and more of the swatches of red rain as you're moving around the area where the ground is despoiled and wasted. And among the sort of refugees, you were seeing Zartet signs of the contagion there, and also some kind of unfortunate deformities where you're not sure if these were pre-existing deformities on these people or if they are newfound as a result of exposure to whatever's going on.
Are there any alligators in this area, like naturally?
Yeah, naturally, like south of, sort of along the southern part of this coast, there are a lot of swamps where you would find not alligators but crocodiles and other sort of serpents and constrictors and like all variety. Really, it is those inhospitable swamps, sort of the south, that make it totally unsuitable for passage in like all but the most determined times. And it's one of the reasons why trade to the island was so dependent on the Darameus. This sort of raised pathway that avoids the sort of rocky and unnavigable seas of the north. It avoids the swamps of the sort of southern sea, and it avoids sort of the on the eastern side of the sea, you have the Darameus, so you can't just run a ship over it there. That's one of the reasons why the situation with food has gotten so dire on the island, is because that was the path, and without it, you're stuck doing a journey similar to the one that you guys were taking, going all the way around the island, trying to get to Iran to have a sort of meeting with King Jordi the Little.
Well, the only reason I asked is because here we have like this alligator goal, when previously we had, you know what I mean, a different kind of thing. And there were mice. Do you remember that in the town
Rat
where?
people?
Yeah, the rat people, where you'd find them in town, and you know what I mean. It seems like it's like the mutagen, almost like from the Ninja Turtles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
What's a ninja?
Yeah, that's just yeah. Does that make sense?
A little bit, yeah. You definitely, as you start to investigate it, you definitely see that there seems to be like a blurring of the line, and it is localized. Remember, when you were closer to the ocean, the gulls that attacked you there had sort of fish scales on them, and they were like a little like a sea serpent and so forth. You saw in the town of Pies people who had rat-like qualities, and now as you are venturing further south, you are seeing examples of a more like sort of reptilian aspect of these gulls.
What about the pig?
Oh, there might be pig people that you didn't come across. In any case, you are still hearing, by the way, these wounded cries coming from under the bridge. If you
I'm gonna go investigate.
Okay, so
With
Kuntz,
my hammer, though.
you're
out
going to
front, just in
investigate,
case.
I wanna go
hammer
too.
in hand. All right, Angie is backing you up there. Okay, so Kuntz, you are the first to the scene right there. And as you're peering over the bridge, you sort of like pop your head over. Immediately, you hear a spitting sound. And then the next thing you know, you are blind. Something has spat into your eyes, and you immediately just feel like stinging pain, and you are blinded. Something has just spat up at you and got you square in the face. So Zartet, you definitely hear like a cry from Kuntz. He cries out that he has been blinded. So Angie, you see like this just gob of black just shoot up there towards you. And as you look under the bridge, you can see that there is you take a quick look and can see what looks like a juvenile copper lizard underneath. Also, there are the corpses of several people have fallen into the gulch there. You can make out like one or two different bodies. And then that's all you have time for. You pop your head back under the gulch. Or you pop your head back under the bridge. So, Kuntz, you are currently blinded. And as in addition, you take 4 points of damage from the sort of acidic spittle. Should have let Angie check it out.
You got plenty more left, bro.
He does. He's very healthy for a wizard. Okay. Actions, people.
Do I see what's happening?
Yes,
here?
all of you are now aware of what's going on. Zartet, you're able
So-
to remove your spear, so you now have access to that again. You have healed.
Okay, I'm gonna run up to Kuntz and pull him back from wherever he's at, recognizing that he's blind and pulling him off the bridge.
You don't want him to fall off of the bridge. I think that's a good call. Angie, what are you doing now? You're closest to the bridge.
Am I able to like take a shot or anything like that, or am I
It's
not
kind of
in a
awkward
position
because you're on the bridge right now. You could wheel around and try to get a shot, but that thing might spit at you too.
All right, maybe I'll just fall back for a minute
Okay.
with them.
All right. So Zartet, what are you up to?
So we're on the bridge and it's like in a gully below or something.
Yeah, the Angie can call out that it's a copper lizard and it's beneath you guys there. It's kind of far from the caves actually, but and like also Kuntz is continuing to take damage here. Like you have sort of acidic spittle on your face.
Can I maybe try to take, I don't know, a rag or something off the bindle that I have and some water and try and wipe it off his
I would
eyes?
I would
and stuff?
definitely
I don't know,
like
give him
douse his
minister
eyes
first
in
aid.
caffeine, or yeah, I would definitely try to get some water on him there. Okay, so Logic, you're attempting to perform first aid on Kuntz right here.
I suppose I am, yes.
Okay, so you have some modest success. You
I
managed
love that
to.
confidence in your voice, Logic.
You are not a trained physician, but you are the first to the scene there, and you do have a mostly full canteen. So you managed to wash most of the gunk off of his out of his eyes there, and potentially save his vision. So you're a true friend there, but you do wind up spending all of the water in your canteen to try and save him there. Zartek, what do you want to do?
I'm the most healed right now, so I'm gonna try something.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast Shillelagh on my spear
Okay.
first, and then I'm gonna jump down. Like, how far from, if I jump over like whatever railings on this bridge?
It's about 12 feet down. It's you're liable to break a leg just jumping down there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No vines or anything like that.
Well, it's a gulch, so it's a relatively sheer side down there, and at the moment, it looks like it's dry. Like for whatever reason, they must not have had a lot of rainfall recently.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna run off.
Can I
the
lower
side
him
of
down
the-
with my pitchfork bindle?
And right now, you're tending to Kuntz. It's quite time intensive to like mop all this
Mhm.
gunk out of his eyes. It's very like sticky and tarry almost, and it
Totally,
doesn't it is not it doesn't dissolve well in water.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna descend the bridge.
Mhm. Okay, so
kinda
you could like
loop
slide down the
around,
side of the
trying
gulch.
to sneak around,
Sliding down the side of the gulch will be noisy. Like that thing will know that you're down there. So you can't really sneak up on it there, but you could slide down the gulch and attack it if you want.
You think, Zartet, you could throw your spear from afar?
Yeah, you could definitely like move along the side of the gulch and try to get a shot on this guy. Either you or Angie there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a move towards it first.
Okay. So Zartet, how are you moving?
I guess I'm gonna maybe go about 20 feet out from the kind of where Kuntz was. Like, how did Kuntz get
So
spit on?
Kuntz,
He was down in
Kuntz
there,
like
right?
leaned his face over the side
Oh,
of the
okay,
bridge.
all right.
He was on the bridge and he kind of like leaned over to take a gander down there, and it went Jurassic Park on him and spat right in his face.
Well, I'm gonna take whatever path there is, like down the side of the bridge. That
Okay.
the
so
safest way to
yeah.
get down there.
You,
If the safest way is sliding down the side.
the
of
safest
the
way
gulch,
is going to
then
be
yeah.
sliding down the side of the gulch. Okay, so you're sliding
Yeah.
into the gulch right there. That's your action. Angie, you can do something while he's doing this.
Can I like follow and can I like move silently?
Yeah, you could try to
I
sneak
take
up.
a shot before he goes.
Yeah. So you sort of here. Let's see how effective you are. Oh, you're quite effective at it, actually. So you expertly take cover along the side of the river, and worried that you're going to like get spit at. Also, you throw a pebble to the other side of the gulch to distract the creature, and manage to like slip along. And the next thing you see is just like a gout of black gunk flies at the space where the pebble shot. So these guys are very, very focused on movement, right? And in fact, you may have saved Zartet there, because as he's like sliding down the way, it was too busy like spitting at the pebble that you threw to take a spit at him there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Angie, you take a solid look there, and as you can see, this is a juvenile, right? It's a little bit older than the ones that you saw fighting at the cave there. This guy is about 6 feet long, and you can see that it is injured already there. There are 2 other sort of copper lizards that are dead in the area around it, and it looks like about 3 or 4 people have been sort of chewed up. Their like bodies are in some degree of array. So it looks like there was some kind of attack by the people on the lizards, or the lizards on the people, and this lizard is now the last survivor. You know by the markings on it that the adult that was being like bitten up by the gulls and so forth is a female. You're able, as a ranger, you're able to like tell it was a female there. It might have been the mother of these juveniles down there.
Is it like weird, or is it just a regular copper lizard?
It looks like just a regular copper lizard there, and it seems afraid and injured.
Shit. Maybe I should just take a shot before Zartet tries to.
You can take a shot if you want to.
Okay.
Okay.
While it's distracted, yeah.
Okay. So your arrow puts it out of its misery, right there. It's just like a through and through on the neck that pins the lizard against the ground, and then soon that's all for this young lizard. It will liz no more. Okay. So with that done, you guys are able to tend to Kuntz. Kuntz, your eyes are okay now, but you are not going to be seeing well probably for the rest of the day. So you just, as you're moving through the rest of the day, the world to you appears as if everything is fogged up there. Your eyes will need some kind of curative magic or some time to heal up there. So you're essentially, you would probably be about legally blind right now. Like you can still see, but everything is fogged up, and your eyes are in considerable pain that will significantly impact your spellcasting. So as you guys take a look at the bodies and so forth there, so you find the copper lizards, their victims, everybody there is emaciated, right? These copper lizards are very underweight. The people that they were gnawing up and eating have almost nothing worthwhile to loot there, and it looks like they have not eaten in several days right there. This is, as you're putting the scene together there, using your tracking skills and so forth, you can see that these were people who were probably fleeing from the south. They were headed north towards the Honeycomb Caverns, and at some point these creatures swarmed up, and you can see on the faces of one of them they've been blinded by the spittle. So it looks like they were ambushed by the lizards that like swarmed out from under the bridge and attacked them, and it looks like they did fight them off there. Like, and that may, you don't see a person with like a chopped off arm there. So it seems like the guy that lost an arm in the mouth of the mother lizard may have gotten away, and you can probably track him by his blood trail and figure out which way he went if you'd like to. Although daylight is burning right here. So one thing that you do
Can I
know...
spend
Sorry, you were saying logic?
I was just wondering if I could spend a few minutes while people are deciding what to do to make a little bit more detailed search, considering this is a known spot of banditry in the past, and maybe there might be a cache. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a very
shit.
solid thing to do, and you do have a little bit of
Very
experience in smuggling
thief-like thing.
and hiding and so forth. So you're going to spend another 10 or 15 minutes just looking around to see what you can see. Like while logic is doing that, the other thing that you notice about the people that are all torn up and so forth is that they're missing almost all of their teeth. They're missing their teeth, like they've fallen out of their mouth, whether from malnutrition or they've just like really started. And the teeth that are growing back are pointy, right? It's like their teeth have fallen out, and you can see pointed teeth growing up through their gums. The gums are sort of inflamed and almost have sort of like bluish black streaks there. Just the people have sort of reddish, ruddy skin and so forth. And it seems like something was happening to them as well there. All right.
Crocodile people.
So logic, you use all of your thieving abilities and try to figure out where you would hide something. Were you over here? And your instincts lead you to the hollow trunk of a tree where you find a bottle of a very fine brandy concealed within the tree. It looks like about a quarter of it has been drunk, but it's not your everyday sipping brandy. It's quite fine, and from the bottle you can see that this is quite an expensive bottle that was stashed there. Also, tied around the neck of the bottle of brandy with a red ribbon is a silver key. But the meaning of it or what it unlocks you can't see, and that's all that you're able to find. Okay, so let us pause here, and everybody let's take a drink and be back in about 3 or 4 minutes at about 9 o'clock. So 3 or 4 minutes from here, and we'll just take like a 5-minute break.
Break.
Roger that.
Penis bump.
Shout out to the chat. Be right back.
I'm back. I think Angie, like all you really have at this level of ranger is like you're good at tracking things. But later, also you can befriend animals at this point. And what's the other thing that you can do? Befriend animals, tracking, and that's pretty much it. Later on, you'll get like dual wielding and stuff like that. But for now, that's it. And some jerky. Oh, shalom indeed. Shout out to Peabody Nick right there. We're just in a break at the moment. I'm eating beef jerky. Oh my god. It's like the toughest fucking jerky. Mm. Holy fuck. I cannot recommend People's Choice jerky. I don't know what's going on with this motherfucker. What? Well, here's Big Puppy.
Little gremlin.
I uploaded a new map there
Nice, yeah.
for IRC. Oh, gotta reset again.
Well, I'm definitely going to bring, well, Kunstikov.
There we go. Good old
I
web.
was just saying that I'm definitely going to bring the bottle and the key back to you guys. I mean, a thief has to produce sometimes, right? So.
This is all true.
What is this key for?
What are you eating over there, Load?
This is like this really tough beef jerky.
If
At least
you're-
it's spicy, but it's like
Iron rations.
yeah, it really is like hardtack. I like it because I can't just like gobble it all up like I can that soft jerky. It's gonna take forever to eat this motherfucker.
Oh, sweetie, get down. Hey,
Uh-oh.
glitch. God damn it.
Uh-oh. It's on like the Quran. This is a perfect time for me to let everybody know that if you want to get a t-shirt like the one that I'm wearing right here, I'm currently running a promotion where anybody who posts a review on Amazon and Goodreads of any one of my books, I will send you a fucking shirt for free. It can be any of the ones on the Load store or on the ZYZ store, except the Matix ones. Those ones cost me like $30 to print. They're no joke.
Dude, I love my Matix shirt.
Oh shit, I wear that motherfucker all the time. It's a good gym
Yeah, I
shirt.
wore it to the gym yesterday.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
Everybody at the gym is like, "What's the Matix?"
Where do we read your book at? Like, do we have to buy your book and then
Mm-mm.
Amazon sends it to us?
So you can do it that way. If you want to be like really, really cheap, the books are all available for free at zachzyz.com. If you want a
It's a
copy of what,
PDF though, right?
they're EPUBs. Yeah, so you can get them in EPUB, or I can get them to you in EPF or PDF.
Like,
or,
I have real books. Like, I don't really do the whole EPUB thing. I like to
yeah, if you want a real one, just grab them from Amazon.
legit read
They'll
them.
get there like in like 2 seconds flat, and just post your review on Amazon and Goodreads. Let me know where it's at. It does not have to be a show review. It can be like, yeah, this guy really, I did not like the gratuitous sex every 5 pages. Like, yeah, man, you can put all that shit in there.
Those might actually be more helpful, right?
No, they're not.
I loved
They're not
Hawk the
helpful at all.
Diner. Like I tried to I was gonna just read a little bit of it, and I think I ended up just staying in my bed and reading the entire thing.
That's the kind of review that would get you a free shirt if you felt like posting it up.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it.
You get the shirt, fucking any shirt. I'll send it to you there. But yeah, what's really helpful for me is if you buy the ebook on Amazon. They're only like 99 cents to buy the ebook, and then your review is like a verified review. It actually helps with the algorithm. If you don't buy the book on Amazon, they don't give a shit about what you are, like what you're all about there.
There's still
So
physical
you
copies
get
on
it.
Amazon though,
Oh
right?
yeah, there's copies on Amazon. And also, if you want to review the new one, fucking Zeros.
You're done editing Zeros? Holy shit.
Oh man, we worked so hard on this fucking one. Shout out to Logic, who was the edit ace for this book right here. So Zeros, you
It's a good
can.
story.
Yeah. I'm reading the ebook for it right now. So you can just listen to the audiobook as I'm recording it, or you can get a paper copy of this. You have to get those from me because they're not buyable yet if you only read on paper. But I will mail you one. I'll mail you like a signed copy if you want that. Anyhow, that's my desperate ploy to bribe people into posting reviews because, man, it's fucking hard to get any traction whatsoever. So Peabody Nick says, what's the name of your book?
Fully blocked. From
I got it on the
Amazon.
shirt right here. Boom, boom. What's fully blocked?
Me from posting reviews on Amazon.
What did you do?
Well, I mean,
literally
this is
nothing.
the guy that
I mean, they were all
threw a chunk
normie
of meat
reviews.
at a woman's feet.
Yeah. Well, no, they weren't even that uncouth. I was like, yeah, the headphones work. The book was bad.
Yeah.
The sponges worked.
Yeah, just
But I guess
make a fake account for
Those are some
LRH.
in-depth reviews.
But yeah, Peabody Nick, if you go to zachzyz.com, I don't just tell amazing tales on IRC D&D. I have 5 books in print right now, and the 6th is coming out on October 1st. And I would love if people would read them totally fucking for free. And if they're good and you like them, just buy the ebook for 99 cents and then post a review. It would help me out so much. All right, enough of my shilling. I feel so dirty, just fucking self-promoting. I hate that
it's
shit.
a good story, though. It's honestly a good story.
Yeah, I'm reading the ebook for Zeros right now, and I love this fucking story. It's so Zeros is so creepy, and then Trader is so creepy, and I just love all the plane shit and the station falling apart around
That's
them.
what's great about it.
Mhm.
They're all creepy, but that's like very human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which to me was like the central part of anyway.
It really tracks with my experience in the military. I don't know about yours, but yeah, some very flawed people flying in that old Air Force. All right, let's get back to it. So when last we left, you had just slain the not so defenseless juvenile lizard. Logic was able to.
Bad.
I was like, maybe they'll befriend this lizard. Nope, slain.
Had I known it was a juvenile and afraid, I would have cast friends on it.
I did.
I don't know if you
but
can
I
cast
mean,
friends
I don't
on
know.
I think does friends work on animals?
Well, it gives me charisma, and if I have 20 charisma, can't I make friends with animals?
I don't know, man.
Well, I maybe could have tried talking to it. But...
Well, these are how we learn things here. Now nobody can talk to the lizard.
Hindsight is 2020.
Who's the smoking hot girl in here? Peabody Nick, that's me. Zach ZYZ or Load Radio. Hi, Sailor. Anyhow, so moving right along. So you can see that this has gone on. If you want to, you can try and track the trail of the one-armed man as you're moving south along the road towards the Blackrock Stockade. Not blockade, but stockade. You can see that the trail of blood from the one-armed man sort of goes up the road for a ways, and then it veers into the grass. And then it sort of
How old is the blood?
vanishes into the high grass. It's relatively recent. You would guess that just from like the state of like how congealed the blood is and how much dust is collected in it and so forth. This guy has wandered off within the last 2 or 3 hours.
The other guys had alligator teeth. I don't know if we should follow it.
An excellent point.
Oh, fuck, that's a fucking good point. But he also might have some info about this key that I found.
I guess you could shake him down, but I don't know.
If it's just him wandering off wounded, oh, that's a good point. That's a good bargain, you know?
I will say that daylight is fading, so it's up to you whether you think it's worthwhile to track down and assist or exploit this potentially injured man, or if you just want to venture on. It's up to y'all.
Well, I think if he's wounded, my vote is to exploit him, but, you know.
Can we help him at all, or is he gonna die?
He lost an arm. He's in rough shape, wherever he is.
His arm isn't tattooed, is it?
You did not see any tattoos on the arm. That was still clenched in the jaw of that lizard.
Right.
I mean, shouldn't we be nice and at least go get him his arm back and like give it to him?
What's he gonna do with
I
it?
think it's all fucking gnawed up.
Well, I mean, I would want my arm back if a lizard had it.
You want your gnawed up arm back?
I will just as a
Fine.
general note,
Thank you.
It's mine.
there's no reconstructive surgery at this level of technology. Like once a piece of you gets bitten off, you never get it back.
What if he eats 2 good berries?
Well, I'm gonna have it.
No good berries are gonna bring back your arm.
At the higher levels of druidry, there is a spell called regeneration that could potentially bring back a lost limb or failed libido, a lot of different things. But
Can we cauterize his wound?
Well, we have to find him first.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I thought he was laying in front of us.
I think if he really wants his arm, he'll come back for it.
I'm gonna grab his arm. I have room. I'm gonna take his arm.
So you're going to take a putrefying arm that has been rotting in the sun for
I
some time.
warn Kuntz against that.
Well, but
Okay.
only for like 2 hours, right? So it's not putrefying yet.
No, it's starting to. I mean, it's hot.
Hey, sweetie.
It's like the beginning of the day, or the middle of the day, right here. Yeah, it's like, it's getting ripe already.
Okay, let's go follow that guy.
You want to follow him down with? Are you actually bringing his bitten off arm? That
Yes, I'm adding it to my inventory right now.
Okay.
1 arm.
Oh my god.
All right.
All right, so Kuntz,
If your kids insist.
You guys have never played Fallout before. You always bring everything. You just never know.
All right, so
I just
it seems
pulled
like
one
everybody
arm
is a
part.
little bit weirded out by Kuntz, but he insists on bringing the arm of this guy. So Kuntz, you can see just the area where the fangs are sunk into it. So the copper guys, they have 2 you can get a pretty good look at them right here. They have 2 very venomous fangs, something like a snake or whatever, and where the arm it has a couple of puncture wounds in the forearm where it like clamped down and would not let go, and where those fangs have stabbed through, you can see that sort of like the acidic venom has eaten away. And that's why you're getting that weird, like, putrefying smell there, just because those puncture wounds have been eaten by this acidic venom. So definitely try not to get any of that on you. And by the way, you are still, by the way, mostly blind, Kuntz.
Yep.
So as you're doing this, you're like groping around, like, where's the arm?
You're all out of sorts.
Okay. So you set off on the trail of the injured man, and it is not a difficult trail to find. He has lost a great deal of blood, and it only takes you about 30 minutes of tracking to find him. face down in the tall grass, just sort of shallowly breathing. You can see where he has attempted to tourniquet himself with like a scrap of cloth. It looks like he just ripped it off of the bottom of his pants and tried to tourniquet himself with it. And as you approach, you can hear his low, wheezing moans of pains. Shoutouts to Glitch over here, like perching and watching the D&D.
15 minutes until dinner time, so you know why she's here.
That's hilarious. So anyhow, so you see the man is like face down and shallowly breathing. And you can see just his side is completely soaked in blood. And he's covered in a sheen of sweat and everything. His breaths just come as sort of gasps of pain. So he is very close to the end right here.
Can I say anything to him in Thieves' Cant? Sort of like a greeting in Thieves' Cant?
Oh shit, it's Spathey in the chat. Shout out to Spathey right there. We all miss you. Yeah.
Love that Spacey, man.
Yeah, you get no response from him. He is he's not doing well. He's not really in a spot where he's parsing any kind of convoluted code. He's still face down, by the way, to the rest of you. By the way, Angie, you notice that just outside of his hand, he has a like a sort of a small axe. It looks like an axe that was once like a long-handled axe like you would use for splitting wood, but it looks like part of it has been broken off, and he just has it. He's been using it as kind of like a hatchet. But it's a full axe, just with like a broken shaft, and the blade of the axe is all bloody.
Does he look threatening at all?
No, he looks like he's dying.
What happened to you, mate?
Does it look like he's
Can we
trying
rearrange
to...
the tourniquet?
You see, like the area around the tourniquet, by the way, where he's like chopped off his arm. It's also seeping like black blood. It seems like he didn't manage to chop his arm off before like a lot of the venom got to him.
Okay. Does it look like he's trying to live or like he's ready to die?
He walked a long way, and you can tell that he chopped off his own arm. He had a lot of fight in him, but it looks like the blood loss and it's just about done him in.
Well,
Can we see his teeth and what his teeth look like?
Yeah, I'm going to turn
he's
him
face
over.
down right now. So when you turn him over, immediately all of you are aghast because one, his face is just like a rictus of pain. He's pale and shaking and bloody, but his eyes are they're no longer human. They're like serpent-like slits. They're yellow. The sclera are yellow, and the pupils are narrowed to slits. And as he like flips over and groans, you can see that he too has the sort of crocodile teeth poking through his jaw. It looks like he too has been corrupted.
Is he even looking at us at all?
His eyes are glazed over, and he's making some like pleas for help, but everything comes out jumbled and like help, because he's probably going to die within the next few minutes here.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna like mercy kill him, spear him through the throat or something.
Okay.
Well, at least ask him what happened to him first.
He's not speaking. He can't use
We haven't.
words,
You
right?
you have not really tried to talk with him yet.
Oh,
be able
We
to.
should just
Ask him
ask a
what
few
he's for.
times.
Yeah.
all right.
So
Let's
you-
ask him first.
Okay. You want to
Here's
talk
the
to him
key.
before you slay him? Yeah. Okay. Who was talking to him? And Yeah, who's speaking?
What say
do
you?
ask?
What say you, sir?
Okay. What's
What's your business here? Where you going?
what's your
Where you
charisma here?
Where were you coming from, and where are you
Zartet?
going?
What's your charisma to
Well, the thieves'
coax
can
words?
didn't work.
Yeah.
You know.
He didn't seem to recognize it, but he was flipped over at the time. Okay.
I'm trying.
So Zartet, when you try to speak to him, he just looks at you strangely. He's like, he just all he says is water. Yeah.
Give him some water.
Fucking water.
Get the man some water.
Okay. Well, who's giving up the water here?
I'm out.
Yeah.
I
Logic
guess-
spent all his hosing off Kunz. Kunz is too blind to administer water. Are you going to give him some of your water, Zartet?
I'm kind of wary. Okay, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's give him some water.
Okay.
I'll give him some of my water.
Okay.
I haven't been
Got my
trekking
dagger
in
in
water, so
hand.
I think, I
Got
think
your
I got a
dagger
lot
in
of water.
hand. Yeah. So you lean low and give him the water. And for a second, he tenses up and looks like he's about to rear back and bite you.
Yeah, of course.
With those creepy. But finally, he just gulps at the water. And you're able to see as he's doing it, like the start of a fork has begun at his tongue. There are just like two little nubs where his tongue has started to diverge as he's midway through this transformation. So he drinks the water and hisses thanks to you, and then shuts his eyes, and then opens them again, like seeming surprised that he's still there. He's very close to death here. The tourniquet that he had on is just not really effective, and he's still continuing to bleed pretty significantly from the stump of his arm.
Can I say anything now that he's
Yeah,
sort
you
of
could
awake?
You could absolutely
Any-
talk to him. Yeah, he's been a little revived by the water.
Can I prompt him with thieves' can?
He does no response to your thieves' can, and he's becoming like sort of like
Well, I guess
confused by
I'll,
what's going on.
Try to fucking do the tourniquet.
Okay, you're gonna
I mean, I'm
attempt
not
to.
the guy to do that, but I'll do that. Sure.
Okay, again, you are not trained as a, but you're really getting like a battlefield education right here. So he cries out in pain as you adjust the tourniquet, but it's such a mess of blood and seeping blackness that you don't know if you improved things or made it worse.
I don't think it matters. Like, he was bitten and he also fucking had the zombie juice, whatever.
Yeah, he's not doing spectacularly well. And he says, "Please help me, please help me." He just kept saying it over
in
and
what
over
language
again.
Give him
does
a
he
good
speak?
berry.
Now, so he's speaking Iranic, which is what all of you speak, by the way. Like, it's a relatively common tongue for this area. Yeah, he was a human being, you know.
Yeah, he's
just
got a
been
good
changed.
berry.
Can I give him my good berry?
You can give him a good berry if you want.
Send it.
Okay, so you
Sorry, Zartek.
you
I'll
give
go for it.
him a good berry here. So you almost have to force it into his mouth, just because he's so injured. And yeah, it's strange. Once you like force it into his mouth and like work his jaw and force him to swallow it, you can see sort of color start to return to his face a little bit. All right, and the like strange reddish greenish tinge that he's taken seems to like sort of fall away a little bit, but he's really quite advanced in whatever this condition is, so it may only be like a temporary reprieve, but the magic of the good berry seems to revitalize him a little bit, and he just says, "I'm not gonna make it. Like I lost my arm. I'm bleeding out. Like I'm not gonna make it."
Well, we found it.
Yeah.
So he just seems to notice that Kuntz has his arm for whatever reason, and he can't even seem to make words at it. He just can't. He seems like very confused by the sight of his arm, and he's like, well, can you put it back? Like,
Yeah, okay, so I try to put his arm back.
Doesn't work.
Can we squish a good berry and
His arm
rub
is
it
poison,
on both the
dude.
arms?
Good berries do not work that way. Yeah,
Okay.
they absolutely do not work.
I'm just
that way.
gonna rest his arm up against him so he has it.
And he's like, you've come
Don't
to
we
bury.
have 'em?
Have you come to bury me?
Zartet has that silver powder that heals people in weird ways, doesn't he?
He does have the silver dust.
It is, however, I mean, that's a special ass powder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's quite rare and quite expensive.
Yeah.
Like all
Well, it
the
sounds like this guy's dead.
all the money that you guys have,
Where are you from,
is
man?
like not even a tenth of what that powder is worth.
Wait, I have good charisma. Maybe I should ask him. What do you recognize this key? What is it for?
He seems like I don't know anything about a key. I'm fucking dying. You know,
But
give me
all of
some
this
help.
powder, all of this powder has to be used to like
Yes,
bring
you
someone
have
back.
you have one dose of the powder that you could use to try and heal the strange reptile man. But again, the powder has limits, and essentially, just for game purposes, he will have to make a roll for system shock, and if it fails, he will die.
I say we YOLO it and just use the powder.
No, it's logic has the
No.
powder. It's up to
I
him.
disagree with that as
Yeah.
fuck. I give it to Zartet, but
Yo,
Yeah,
you gave
I have it.
Zartet
Well,
has
it
the
gives me
powder.
a team vote, but it looks like Angie and Logic say no, so it doesn't look like it'll happen.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Zartet wants
well,
to
he's
force
dying.
a tiebreaker.
He's
that's
really
one of our system shock checks.
Yeah.
So
We have
he
to, like,
is
know what's going
fading
on.
fast as you guys are discussing whether or not you should dust him with this powder. Once he hears you talking about it, he's like, "Silver dust, give it to me, save my arm.
What are you gonna give us?
I'll give you anything, wealth, treasure, anything, please."
Uh-huh.
He's becoming
You don't even have two arms, bro.
and he's very skinny too. You're surprised that this guy has like so much fight in him, because he is down to just like skin and bones. Yeah, the
I
what are you
think
gonna
we should
give
use the
us?
powder, but it's up to Zartet to see. If Zartet votes yes, we'll have to go to a tiebreaker.
So I'm gonna while they're arguing, I'm gonna lean down low on this guy. I'm gonna be like, "What do you have to give us? What could you possibly do for us
anything,
for this silver
like
powder?"
my life, my soul, anything you want. Like God's, just save
Giant
me.
crocodile man.
It's not
You know,
good
no
enough.
promise
No,
you
I vote
anything.
no on this guy.
All right,
I
sorry, it's
don't-
3-1.
He's
He's
like,
gonna
I know
die.
where there's a huge treasure, just millions of gold and jewels, and he's becoming,
Uh-huh.
We don't need that shit.
yeah.
Yeah, and now I
Well,
spear him
too,
through.
and
Now,
wealth
now
and
I
women
spear him
and-
through the throat.
okay, you issue the quietest right there.
Like he's an abomination. Like
Yeah,
I
you
don't believe
you
that.
put an end to his long struggle right there and dispatch this man. He is
My
slain.
companion dislikes that.
Everyone disliked that. But that's the end for him, and he was really very close to the end.
I
in
didn't
any case.
dislike it. I just
No, Kuntz was thumbing it down as hard as he could.
I wish I had 10 hands. I'd give that 10 thumbs down.
Oh wow, damn. You
Angie's
put
a
it,
thumbs up. You guys are
Yeah.
heartless.
you put an end.
No.
All right, put him out of his misery.
Yeah, you put an end
could have had
to
a
the
team
poor
member.
Yeah,
wretch.
he wasn't
Alligator.
proud.
Anyway, it'd be a waste of dust, dude. And he's a crocodile man. He's not even like real.
Yeah,
He would have been my friend.
you know,
Well,
let
this
the
is-
real crocodiles live. not
Maybe.
these-
well, maybe he knew something.
At the very
But we
least,
gotta get out of here. 'cause
you
the
were able
sun's
to
coming down.
you were able to reunite him with his arm. If you wanted, you could stop and bury him, but you could also just leave him for the gulls.
I say we should bury him. At least bury the
Yeah.
guy. We brought his arm
Does he
all
have
this way.
anything? Can I search the area? Him? Any
Mhm.
in the area?
Okay. So as you search through his meager possessions, you find only, like his pockets are bare. He has no food. He has nothing. What he does have is a piece of paper folded over like many times. And as you unfold this little scrap of paper, you can see the portrait of a young woman and it's not done. It's done in very rough lines, as if somebody is just learning how to do it. Okay, and I'll wait for Kunz to return. But anyhow, what you see is a small heart with the letters A, heart A, and that's it. So it's just a charcoal portrait of a young woman, and under it is a little heart that says A, heart A.
Do we recognize this? If I show it around, does anybody recognize this at all?
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm just gonna tuck that away, I guess.
Okay, you're gonna keep the
Yeah,
portrait.
yeah.
The
Probably
crocodile.
Well, I
That's
mean,
true.
why the fuck not? I mean, I show it to everybody. It's like, oh, does anybody recognize this? And
Yeah, he had a sweetheart. That's sad. Poor guy.
So Kunz, Spathy Was said, Kunz, that dog looks ill. Take it to the vet. Have fun. Catch the rerun tomorrow. So,
It's my cat.
yeah, that's his joke. All right. Well, I think that's all that you can glean from the fallen crocodile man. So you proceed south, and as the sun is setting, you make your way to the outskirts of the Blackrock Stockade, and immediately you can see that there are archers all over the periphery of the stockade. As you're moving towards, you can see people sort of walking away up the road towards you in tears because they've been turned away from the stockade. Some of them seem angry. Some of them seem desperate. A few stop to ask.
can we stop one?
Yeah,
and
well,
ask why?
they're coming your way now. You can hear them like marching away, and once they see you coming up the road, they immediately mob towards you and beg you for food. And as you're taking a look at them, you're starting to see some of the same signs of change that you saw on A, the one-armed man. Some of them just have sort of scaly growths at their neck. Some of them have those missing teeth and like the strange gums, and a few of them just have like a blotchy, odd color to them.
And just to, I'm sorry, for keeping purposes, like the people at the Honeycomb Caves were not infected. They were normal human type
They were
people,
for the most
or
part.
no
You could see some signs of sickness among them, but they weren't quite as far gone as these people that you're seeing here further south.
Oh, but they did have similar sorts of malformations.
You saw signs of deformity, but you couldn't tell if they were things that these people were born with or if they too were blighted.
So how far
Sorry,
away?
we don't have any food.
How far away am I from
Okay.
like the walls and the archers? Like, can I talk to them soon?
So
Yeah, look.
right now, you guys have you're about 300 yards from the stockade, right? You have opted to come to a stop, well out of arrow range, and then these people who look like they were just turned away from the gate have come up to you and they're begging for food. There are about 7 of them, and they are the same, like sort of wretched, emaciated people that you've seen so commonly. Most of them look like they've started to turn more or less, but there's also an older woman with them who doesn't have like the same signs of corruption and change that the others have, but she is also quite spindly. Like everybody there is starving.
But they've been turned away at the gate, correct?
Yes, they were turned away at the gate.
Can we be like, oh, we'll go get you some food and then go inside?
You could. They've come to you, and that like a few have like fallen to their knees in supplication. Like one guy is like leaning face forward into the dirt. They're just begging you, please, if you have any food, please help us.
So
We're starving.
just going to assume that they were turned away because the guard or the archers or guards, probably think they're infected with whatever that stuff is.
They certainly
So
are.
I'm gonna head towards the wall and let them know that our party is specifically not infected, and that we strongly believe good berries prevent infection or cure infection.
Okay.
Well,
Wait.
while he's doing that,
So,
the old
Kunz,
lady who's not.
wait. So Kuntz is taking this move first. So Kuntz, as you're like trying to like walk around them, one of them runs up and sort of grabs you by the leg and is continuing to beg you, like, please, please, I'm starving.
I'll help you in a moment, sir. I have business to take care of.
He will
with
not let
the,
go.
Guards.
Yeah.
Well, I just keep walking anyways.
Okay. He's literally like clinging to your leg, and you have to drag him along to continue moving forward. He
fine.
will not let go of your leg.
I'm just gonna keep walking.
Okay. So you see this guy grabbing Kuntz's leg. So Kuntz,
We
This-
should have kept the arm.
Yeah, beat him back.
you could have given him the arm to eat. Kuntz, this is an unwise maneuver because eventually this starving man sinks his teeth into your leg. So he takes,
Asshole.
he tries to take a bite out of you, but he doesn't. He's too weak to bite through your trousers. But it's still like a painful bite on your leg. This guy is like trying to bite you down and like gnaw on you.
I'm gonna hit him in the elbow with my hammer.
Okay, you go for
Sort of,
a hammer strike.
in such a way that if I
A
miss, I'm not
reflex
gonna hit
test.
my leg.
Okay, well you do miss. You don't hit your leg, but you wind up like clocking him pretty good in the face. And
That works.
That may be the end for him. There is a pretty resounding crack, and that's the end of him biting your leg right there. So you clip him pretty good, and he is motionless afterward. You don't know if he is dead or alive.
Boo.
Yeah. Oh, now you're
I
booing
ask
him. The
the-
guy that's biting his leg. The other ones are
I
still
like how
begging,
that's going.
and they're getting like increasingly desperate. It looks like they may try to do something crazy in a second.
The old woman who does not appear to be corrupted,
Mhm.
of the seven or now six. I want to ask her why was she turned away?
They won't let any of us in. They say we're blighted, but I'm fine. We need food. We need water. We need shelter. We've been marching for 3 weeks. There's nothing left. There's no food. Avora Brink is
Yeah, but
devastated.
you're not blighted. You're not blighted. Why did they turn you away?
When you say that, she lifts up her shirt, and her chest is just riddled with oozing sores, and you can see like the formations of scales, like kind of spiraling out. There are these
Oh, you-
three.
You can put that
Yeah.
down again. Okay.
And she's like, please help me. We're good people.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna go up into we'll go up into the town, and we'll see about fixing this.
You're
All right.
lying to me. Just you people are healthy. You must have food. You have to have something to eat. I'm like, look at you.
We will have food, but we have to get to the Blackrock.
Can we tell them that there's
Financial
food somewhere
securities
else?
first.
Be like,
Like,
yeah, we
he's-
just came.
One
to
of
this
them.
other
One of them
location
says,
for like
they're
10
lying. Like, there's more of us. Take them.
Oh, that's true. We actually just literally passed a bridge about an hour that
okay.
way.
While
Literally.
this is
You know
going
the
on, they have lost their patience with you, and then so two of these guys rush you. Logic. So they're
Talk to us,
unarmed.
Logic.
And they're desperate and they're weak, and their attacks have like no effect on you. You're able to dodge out of them and like step aside, and then one of them is grabbing for your ankles, trying to pull you down with them. Then there are 7 of them total. The one that Kuntz just probably killed, the old woman, 2 that just attacked Logic, and the other 3 rush at you, Zartet. So they try to mob you down. They take a look at Angie, and they're like, no. So they go for you, Zartet, trying to mob you down before you can spear one of them. And so one of them you're able to dodge away from pretty easily. But then the other one sneaks a fist to your side, and another one clouts you over the back of the head. So they rush at you. You just take 1 point of damage from all of that. They're so weak. So Angie, you see this going on, and you can intercede if you want, either with lethal force or with non-lethal force.
Can I just like draw my bow and be like, dude, try that shit again, and I will fucking kill you all?
Okay, you
Draw
can.
that fucking sword.
You're like at this range.
sword.
Yeah, at this
The
range,
sword.
like drawing a bow at somebody like that is they'll try and take it away from you. So you unsheath your sword, and at the unsheathing of the sword, they scatter like rats and begin running away. Even the old woman just takes off. They're running through the tall grass, just trying to get away from you. And then
Okay.
I want to yell after them and tell them, go west, or whatever. Go west 1 hour on the road. There's food out there.
No, they're zombie people. No.
They are food out there.
Yep. Yeah, they'll definitely be some kind of food. So the desperate people run away, unaided by the lots of you. And Kunt's the one that you have apparently slain, the man that was biting your ankle, but it was in self-defense. So now all of you can approach the stockade if you would like to. And the men on the stockade have watched this all go down. They've seen everything that you just did.
Do they see our helmets, our Legionnaire helmets?
Oh, that's a good question. I was just about to,
Yeah, so each of you has just kept with you, like on a thong of leather or whatever. The helmets of the Legionnaire is there. So you can hold them up if you'd like to. Okay, yeah, so you're raising your Legionnaire helmets. As you guys approach, you make it within about 100 yards, and you hear one of them call out, like, come no further.
I want to go back to my original idea of convincing them that we're not infected and we potentially have a cure for the infection.
Okay. So one of them yells out, come no further. We're full. What do you say, cunts?
We have aid. We know how to cure the infection, sir.
Yeah, I know the cure for the infection, too. Don't let him in.
We have a real cure. And then I hit Zartet in the shoulder to hold up his world-famous good berries.
Okay. Let's take a look.
I also have great charisma. I
Yeah.
could cast friends on myself.
So, through your smooth talking, you're able to convince one of them to let you come closer so that you can speak a little bit more. He lets you approach within about 20 yards of the wall, but only you. And it's only you. Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
come closer,
So while I'm
just
walking
you.
there,
Yeah.
I quickly cast friends on myself to give myself 2d4 more charisma.
If you cast friends on your spell, they will see you casting a spell. Do you still want to do it?
Well, how does friends work?
So
like if
friends-
they see me casting it, do they know?
Can
Can I just play it off like I'm healing myself
somebody,
or something?
you can't like slyly cast a spell, right? Somebody will notice, like, oh, this guy's doing this. Like if you weren't out in the open where everybody was looking at you, you could kind of get away with it. But here, with everybody's
Yeah.
attention on you, you cannot cast a spell without them knowing that you're doing magic. Now, how they'll react is uncertain. Majory
I'm gonna
is
cast it anyways because
Okay.
I'll be so charismatic. I'll be able to talk myself out of it.
okay.
Well, the other thing too is that magic in this world is so fucking rare, bro.
Mhm.
Like, it's
Yeah.
so fucking rare.
No,
the
he's
fact that there are
Flexing the
casters in this-
mage pipes.
Okay. Yeah. So you begin casting your spell and speaking, and the response is a hail of arrows. So
Yeah.
It's shitty.
2, 3,
I'm running.
4, 5. All right. 2 of these marksmen are excellent shots right there. So you are struck by 2 arrows. So one of them strikes you in the hip and lodges in your hip. And because you're blinded, you can't really see where they're coming from. You're not able to effectively dodge. So that one does 6 points of damage to you.
Oh no.
Then the next one strikes you in your right arm, just right above the bicep. And this one does 8 points of damage to you. It is a very solid shot right there. And the yell, "Come no closer, witch." Say one more word and we'll end you.
On that -1 hit points, so.
You're at -1 hit point? Okay, if you're at -1 hit
I'm gonna
point,
yell, "Stop!"
you fall over and are unconscious on the ground. So you guys see Kuntz fall over, potentially slain.
Oh no!
He's within
I
20
didn't
yards
see
of the
that
wall.
coming.
So if you rush up, potentially they will
No,
start
no.
firing at you too. So yeah,
I'm not getting drawn out.
Yeah, you might not rush up. So because Kuntz is at -1 hit point, if he does not receive medical aid, he will die.
I will escort you, Zartet, if you go up with me.
And do what? See them what,
All right. As
You
you're
can't-
but there's
deliberating, the rest of them
There's
yell
a
out.
flight time to arrows. It would take like the arrows 5-10 seconds to arrive.
As you
We're
guys
100
are,
yards away.
well, no, you are within 20 yards, right?
Oh,
They are
that's
100 yards away. Because remember, they had you approach there.
I want
So-
to yell and say, "We need to grab our comrade."
All right. They say,
Comrade, is this the USSR?
yeah.
Now
Okay.
we're all witches.
It's like, just you. Drag him away. Any words, if you say one thing, if you do anything I don't like, we'll kill you too. So they point to you, and you have 5 bows trained on you right now, Logic, and they look like they mean business. What do you do?
I walk up silently with my hand up in the air. I grab Kuntz by the collar, the back of the clothes, whatever, and I literally drag him the fuck back towards the rest of the party.
Okay.
Silently.
Let's see how. What's your charisma?
12.
Okay, so here, you must, in this very demanding situation, keep your cool, and do all of this. Whew. You made it by 1. You made it by 1 point. So, you're worried, right? Because you just saw them strike him down, but you managed to hold it together. This is your friend. You want to save him. You're able to pull him back out of arrow range to the others.
Mhm.
And all of you, continue backing away until you're back to the 300-yard mark where they can't hit you again. Yeah.
Do these people know me?
Let me see. You haven't talked to them enough. You don't recognize them, so you have not talked with them enough to find out. Right now, Kuntz is dying.
Okay.
Mm.
So any of you can attempt to bandage him, to bring him back up to.
It shouldn't be me.
You can bring him back up to 1 hit point, or healing magic can potentially save him. But as is, he's bleeding, and he has 2 arrows still stuck in him.
Do we have a good berry?
I mean, am I able to cast Cure Light Wounds again?
Yeah, and like if you have the spell slot left, then you can do it. Did you use up all of your level 1 spells? I know you cast it once. How many do you have? You cast Goodberry
I
and
have
Cure Light
3.
Wounds. All right, so thus far in this session, you've cast Goodberry and Cure Light Wounds. You have 1 Cure Light Wounds left.
Yep.
All right. So you bend over Kuntz, and and do two things. One, your knowledge of medicine lets you know to push the arrow through a little bit, and then cut it off, and then remove the arrow. The one from his hip, you just rip it out because it's just dangling off of him. But the one through his bicep has gone through, and so you have to snip the arrow and pull it through. And you cast Cure Light Wounds. Kuntz, the gods shine on you today, because you're able to heal 8 hit points. That brings you back up to 7.
Well,
You're still blind, but you are saved, and probably won't walk up to a tower that way ever again. Right there.
There's a
So
chance of
Not
it
in the
happening.
spirit world,
Yeah.
dumbass.
you hear more cries from you're too distant now to hear what they're saying, but you can hear shouts of alarm at the witchcraft that you see going on, especially when Kuntz like sits up, and they all saw like how badly he was hit, and thought it should have been the end of him. But soon he sits up again, and you hear angry cries there. You may have more trouble from these people. All right, so you were rebuffed in your attempt to go to the Blackrock Stockade. They did not cotton to your majory, and you've been driven away. So this concludes our adventuring session for today. You've learned much in the ways of diplomacy, and so today you were attempted to help a man only to find him brutally transformed. You were mobbed by the sick and the starving, and you were fired upon as you tried to bring news of a cure to the Blackrock Stockade. It was a dark day for our adventurers, but at least you got some whiskey out of brandy out of it. So,
And a key.
and a key. But what it portends, only time will tell. Okay, so everybody has gained a bit of experience from this session. You are a quarter of the way to level 6.
I just want to point out to everyone watching that this is the first time Zartet didn't ask what his silver ring does. Or
He's
if
given
the
up.
silver ring
He's
has
given
any
up.
effect.
It
We
indeed
made it
up.
one session.
it continues to have no effect right there. Oof.
yeah, I've
Well, I
given
think
up.
you missed the
I've
part-
lost faith.
Prior to this, when you hadn't arrived yet, when Lode was like, perhaps it's just a ring.
But what if it's not just a ring?
But that's not the case.
And he didn't, but he just suggested it. So maybe that had something to do
now
with it.
now that's the case.
You got a ring too, dude.
Yeah, but his isn't imbued with some kind of power. I don't know.
Maybe the real ring was the friends we made along the way. But all of you have the ability to learn two of you have the ability to learn the detect magic spell and cast it. You can find out what's magical in your items.
Oh, is that a level 1 spell? I'll
Yes,
take
it is.
Yeah, hopefully none of my shit is magical because I don't want to be like glowing when finally someone learns to fucking cast it and they look over at me and I'm just like glowing quietly. Nobody knows.
Oh Lord! And you have like you've secreted some items too there that might not go well for you. Okay, well thank you everybody. Thank you to everybody who tuned in here. Once again, you can get some free ass shirts if you review one of my books. Contact me for details. And we do this every single week. I want to thank Angie, Kuntz, Logic, and Zartet, and everybody who tuned in. Good night, y'all.
Peace out.